Good morning, seniors. Believe it or not, I'm a little too tall. Here we go. Welcome. This is your first official senior event that isn't something like obligations or anything that's not very fun. So I am so excited that you guys are here today. I'm so excited that you're actually able to sit next to one another because some of our regulations are relaxing. And a couple of things. I just want to give you a few reminders before we start our official event, which Ms. Getherall and Ms. Tifo and Ms. Sands worked so hard to put together, and Mr. Duran as well. So let's give them a round of applause, guys. Okay, so the next couple of days, guys, are going to be a whirlwind. So tomorrow, I just want to remind everyone that we're doing a day of service, which is timely because it is right before Memorial Day, which is a holiday, a federal holiday, commemorating people that have lost their lives in the line of service. So whether that is during a war or during another time, but while they're serving in the military, that they lost their lives. And so Woburn is a place that really honors their veterans, which I'm proud to say, because I too am a veteran. And then, so what's going to happen is we're going to meet here tomorrow at 9. It is not a mandatory event, but anybody that wants to participate, we're going to walk down to the cemetery, clean up some of the gravestones of veterans from the community, and then place new flags by their gravestones, and then come back to the high school for a class barbecue. And so I always say this is not mandatory, but it is a great way for you to give back one last time before you leave the school and give back to your community. You obviously wear athletic clothing, not anything nice, because you're going to be getting your hands in the dirt and things like that. And so again, not mandatory, but I hope to see you guys tomorrow. We meet in the lobby at 9, and then we'll walk down and then come back here for a barbecue at 12 o'clock in the tent in the courtyard right after that. And then next week, you've got the Odyssey Cruise. We also have the Promenade and the Prom, and then the graduation rehearsal, which is on Friday, and then actual graduation day. I have some great news, is that we are no longer need to limit the number of guests you bring to graduation, which I think is amazing, so amazing. So that is wonderful news, and I believe that we and you do not have to wear masks, but I'll tell you that day of June 4th, when everybody comes here for our reunion, or not a reunion, you're not graduated yet, you don't get a reunion yet, for the rehearsal on Friday. It's so important that you guys are all here for rehearsal, because you need to know who is standing to your left and to your right when we walk out onto the field. Otherwise, somebody might have the wrong name read when we go across the stage, okay? So if you are coming to graduation, you have to be here on June 4th for that rehearsal time. And that's also the day that you're picking up cap and gown, cords, turning any last materials you have, Chromebooks, doing your senior survey. Do it ahead of time so you don't have to do it that day if you can. It's in your email. Okay, so what I would like to do is officially welcome you as a class. It's good to see so many of you here. You look great. Thank you for dressing up. This is a formal event that we do, a semi-formal event every single year for seniors, in which the lip dub is unveiled, which is really exciting this year. You get your yearbooks, and we give out a handful of awards. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sands to make a few reminders and present something on behalf of the class.
Hi there, it's great to see you all together, pretty much. Good crowd for today. So it's been a challenging year, I think, for all of you. I'm so glad that in our last term we were all able to return to school. Of course, your term was so short, you didn't have as much time together as we had hoped. So that's why these events, this yearbook ceremony, day of service tomorrow, and our things that are happening next week are really important for you all to come together as a group and as a class. I have had the pleasure of working with 5 great class officers, 2 of which have been here since freshman year and the others for a few years. So they've been really working hard and having to be very flexible around the prom in particular, right? Because there were so many rules and we had planned to go to Damersport, and now we're going to be here, but I think it's going to be great. There's going to be a combination of music and dancing and food, and also some casino tables just for folks who aren't as interested in the dancing part, and just a chance to come together and be all dressed up and, you know, commemorate your senior year. I want to just say that the cruise is full. I actually have been trying to reach them for a few students who were on my if I could get you a ticket list, and they haven't gotten back to me, so I'm really working on that. There's 3 students in that category. The prom I am still taking names for, but today really should be the last day, so if it's your intention to come to the prom or to bring a guest to the prom, today you must let me know. Even if you're going to say, I'm going to bring my money tomorrow or something like that, it's fine, but I need to give a final count to the food vendors today. So please get to me. And there are a couple of people who maybe owe me some dance contracts. If you are inviting a guest who does not go to Woburn High School, I do need a copy of their ID in order for them to attend, and I have most of them, but there are a few of you who promised to get those to me. They will not be allowed to come to the prom unless I have that. This is just so we can keep everyone safe and we know who's there and so forth. So it would be a great night. The promenade's going to be cool, and then you'll leave the promenade and come directly into the prom, 7 to 10, with a lot of things going on. I hope it will be a lot of fun for everyone. The final thing I just want to do is say a nice thank you to my class officers. So if Adam Gilly is here, and he wants to come up. I have gifts over there. Oh, the other side. I'm going to grab them. I just have a little gift from them because they've been really terrific, and we've had evening meetings over Zoom, and they've come in when, you know, the rest of you were not even in school, and they had internships, and they still came for meetings, and so I'm really appreciative of all their efforts. Adam's been the president since freshman year. You know, What I remember most is this little group here, when Adam was giving his speeches. It was very challenging for him to keep a straight face, and you would have had the impression that maybe he wouldn't be a serious class officer, but in fact he really was. And it was just you guys who just, you know, were just giving him a hard time the whole time during his speeches. So, Christina Negri, she is here. This is for Adam. Okay. Is Christina here? Oh, come on up, honey. She's our vice president. And it was nice to have a female, let me just say, amongst the group. There was one year I had all men. No offense, but you know, sometimes the ladies have different ideas to bring to the table, so I was very appreciative to have a female voice. Thank you, Christina. Tim Pratt has been the treasurer of the class for 4 years. Tim is a quiet voice, but always very reliable. And, you know, he's just this bright guy that's going to do great things in his life, I know. But I've been really glad to get to know him a little over the last 4 years. Clark Dion's our class secretary. Clark really has been somewhat of my go-to guy lately. When I text my offices, he's the first to respond. So I'm glad that I'm just not ignored. I know he's great for putting out polls to all of you to know what you want and give me that feedback. So he's really done a great job representing all of you. And Sean McGuire Last but not least, Sean has also been with me from the get-go, right, Sean? I mean, it's amazing that you guys have hung in there, and you voted for them for 4 years, so you must agree with me that they've done a great job. And this is a really bright, involved group, and so you're really lucky to have them, and they're going to be your officers going forward when it comes time to reunions in 5 years. So take a good look at them, because they're going to be trying to find you. Keep in touch with them. Thank you, Sean. So just give them all a round of applause, because they've been great and they've worked hard. Thank you. All right, now on to the yearbook, right? Oh, no, one more thing? Sorry. Okay. We're all done. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. You guys are great. Do you need to say something? Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, well, I just want to say it's great to see everyone here. And this is obviously the biggest crowd that we've had in a long, long time. So it's great to see everyone here, great to see everyone dressed up. For all of you that signed up for the cruise, I hope you're all looking forward to it, and I hope you're all looking forward to your senior events that are coming up soon. And it's been a great 4 years serving you. 4 more years, perhaps. I've learned a lot from my experience as class president, and it's been a great opportunity to reach out to each and every one of you, no matter what middle school you went to, what part of town you live on, it doesn't matter. We're all one class, and yeah. So I just want to conclude with this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa ta'ala wa barakatuh.
All right, guys, when Adam becomes president of the country, right, just remember it started here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I am honored to present 6 awards of student athletes, and those awards are in 3 different categories. And so I'm going to read them and then ask those people if they're here to come up and receive their awards. So the first award is the Carl Teresi Senior Awards, and one is Male and Female Service Awards. These are for students that participated in extracurricular service-type oriented hours, specifically related to different things at the high school. I know a lot of you do things in the community, but these were people that gave back to the high school in different ways, and they also played at least 2 sports. So these are yes hours, and people that are members of things like Best Buddies and different organizations like that. So the Female Service Award for the class of 2021 goes to Shauna Cronin. The Male Service Award for the class of 2021 goes to Liam Fitzgerald. The next category is male and female scholar athletes. So these are students at the top of their class athletically, or academically and athletically, playing at least 2 sports. The Female Scholar Athlete Awards goes to Pharrell Boudif. Class of 2021 Male Scholar Athlete Award goes to Sean Sullivan. Okay, class of 2021, male and female athletes of the year. Both of them played 3 sports, excelled in the athletic arena. Both were Middlesex All-Stars, all-league performers, captains of their teams, and leaders in our school community. The female athlete of the year award for the class of 2021 goes to Lily Anderson. Last but not least, the Male Athlete of the Year award for the class of 2021 goes to Jonathan Surratt. All right, guys, that concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'm going to turn things over to Ms. Tifo and Ms. Getherall and the yearbook staff. I also want to welcome our class of 2020 yearbook staff. Many of them are here. Great to see you guys. And I want to thank Mr. Mulrennan from the school committee for being here as well today. Thank you.
Good morning. After a very, very long year, we are honored to be here together to celebrate you, okay? So seniors, you have to remember you're the heartbeat of the high school, and we truly, truly have missed you walking the halls. And today, we continue this unique yearbook ceremony that no other school in the country does. And I would like to have Sarah Delano come up and speak about the history of Innitu.
Is this going to be too tall for me? Yeah. Pistivo, how do I fix this? Is it good? Okay. Yeah, okay. If asked what the most well-known landmark of Woburn is, most people would say Horn Pond. As kids, we used to race around the narrow paths of the lagoon on our bikes. Some even learned to fish here. Later in high school, the cross-country team learned to appreciate Horn Pond as their home course for meets. Many of us even took the exhilarating trek up Horn Pond Mountain and were rewarded with the beautiful view of Boston in the distance. But the beauty of Horn Pond Mountain is not newly discovered by us. Rather, the mountain was beloved by a Native American tribe called the Massachusetts. The Massachusetts lived on this mountain, which they called Mount Towanda, and the great spirit of the tribe, Manitou, inhabited the woods of the area. The pond below the mountain was named Innitu, which means looking place of the Great Spirit. Much like with a mirror, Manitou could see his reflection in the water on a peaceful day. Similarly, our yearbook allows us to reflect on the memories that we have made with old friends and with new ones, and upon our memories with teachers and coaches. As we begin to go forth in the world and become what we have set out to be, it is important that we take time to reflect on our time spent together through it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Every junior year, the yearbook staff decides on the design of the book. Meg Dever will introduce the theme of your book.
As we began our journeys in Woburn, we learned for the first time what it meant to make new friends. We also quickly realized the value that those friendships hold. Many of us were destined to meet as our parents had grown up in the very same city. Others met at 5 years old, bonding over everything from art projects to random games on the playground. No matter what, one thing rang true. At such a young age, we had already developed some relationships that we would have forever, and some that were only meant to last for that moment in time. Middle school came, and as we discovered what pride was, a rivalry broke between the Joyce and the Kennedy, and between the different teams in our grade. We belonged to a group for the first time, which catalyzed our own self-discoveries. We performed under the spotlights, on stage and on the field, and danced the night away for the first time at our 8th grade dances. Once high school was around the corner, it felt as if we were anxious kindergartners once more. We entered a brand new building, unsure of ourselves and what the future may hold. Through it all, we took risks. The mantra of Tanner Pride rang over and over again in our heads as we attempted to be our best selves, both inside and outside of the classroom. Some of us found our home among a sports team, others within the arts program, and for many of us, within our own friend groups. We followed high school traditions like Friday Night Lights and lost out to many due to the COVID-19 virus, from which we learned to not take the people and things in our lives for granted. We gained knowledge every day of the world around us. Together, we were heartbroken by the Parkland school shooting and anxious with the results of the presidential elections. We demanded equality and protested police brutality. Together, we grew alongside our world and hoped for a better tomorrow. Through it all.
Thank you, Meg. I'm pleased to virtually announce our yearbook lady, Susan Happel, who could not be here with us today. She will share with you the yearbook journey during this crazy, crazy year that we had. So I really want you to listen carefully to her because she really has something special to say to your class.
Hello, Woburn Memorial Class of 2021. My name is Susan Happel, and you don't know me, but for about 20 years I've worked behind the scenes with Mrs. Tipo and Mrs. Gatherall to help produce your yearbook. I work for the company that actually prints the book. And normally I'm there in person, cheering you guys on, trying to send you off in style each year, and celebrating the yearbook staff at this ceremony. This year I'm not there for a good reason. My son is also a senior. We live out in Westboro, and this is his last day, and there are festivities happening. So I'm in mom mode, not in yearbook lady mode. But I didn't want to skip entirely. This is a staff and a book that deserve to be celebrated as much as you guys deserve to be celebrated as a class. So I hope you don't mind one more digital thing that you have to process. So it's obviously been a mad year, right? I want you to stop today and process and think what this has been for your yearbook staff. When school shut down last March, obviously everything just came to a grinding halt. And as things sort of dragged into the summer, we hit a moment where we were like, oh my gosh, if school isn't in session, how are we gonna produce a yearbook? And I work with about 50 schools across the state, and there are plenty who were like, we aren't. And that to me, as a parent and as a yearbook lady, I'm like, oh my gosh, with everything that the seniors are possibly gonna lose out on, or that certainly will be different, how do we take this tradition away from them too? And I never had to say those words to your advisors. They just knew. One of the things that was so apparent this year, there are people who were able to step up and hit things out of the park on behalf of their students. And there were others who froze and were like, I don't know what to do. Your advisors stepped up. Your yearbook staff stepped up. When you hold this book in your hands, I want you to think about what they had to do to get those pages to completion for you guys. The easy thing would have been to say, we gotta skip a year. Sports are canceled, can't cover that. Typical student events aren't happening. Gotta get that out of there. Like, what does that leave to put in a yearbook, right? Instead, they found stories. They found the stories about what your year did look like. It wasn't about the stuff that was canceled, it was about the stuff that was happening, even if it looked different. One of the awards that Woburn typically wins, you guys are always one of the best books in New England. You're always one of the first books to go on the printing presses. This year, you are the only perfect performer in New England, and let me tell you what that means. That means that you hit every single deadline or you were early. And for Woburn, it means that you were the very first book on our printing press this year. So again, I want you to think about how impossible that is. Not only was so much canceled or delayed, in spite of that, somehow, they hit their deadlines. And I don't know how they did that, because most of my schools were like later deadlines, we're gonna do the best we can. Not Woburn, like your best is always the best. And it was absolutely no different this year. There are 2 other awards that I'm thrilled to tell you about. The book has been awarded Outstanding Graphic Design of New England, and you'll see that as you look through the pages. They're vibrant, they're rich, they're fun to look at, they're interesting. And there's a second award that I don't know that we've ever received before. Outstanding Storytelling of New England. Let me tell you what that means. That means that in addition to just pictures, the stories of those pictures were also told. I have the book right here, and if I flash this up, this is a page that tells the stories of your voices and protests that happened this year. Like when you think back 20 years from now, what defined this period of your life? It's not just that you wore a mask to school. There's multifaceted things that made you you, and they did their best to capture that on these pages. And that is the hardest thing to do in a yearbook. And they did it this year. When so much wasn't happening, I feel like Yearbook took 10 steps up, so that on your graduation day, you could hold a book and be like, yep, this is my time capsule, this is my history. And I hope 20 years from now, when you're showing your children what your senior year was like, it's both the good and the bad, right? It wasn't a perfect year, but there were some things that were absolutely awesome about it. And so I hope that this book captures all of that for you. So please, my plea to you today as you guys celebrate is that you find every single person who was on this staff, that you find your advisors, and you tell them thank you. They did this for you. And any year, a yearbook takes thousands of hours to produce. To take thousands of hours to produce a book when you're not meeting in person, when things are canceled or postponed, when students are both remote and they're in person, it's almost an impossible task. And they did it, and it's awesome. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of this book. So congratulations to all of you. I hope you love this book as much as I do. I hope you are excited about whatever is coming next for you, whether that's work or military or college or vocational school. I hope it's wonderful. The class of 2021 is obviously super special to me. My only child is part of you. So congratulations, you guys. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite the yearbook staff up on stage. Okay, Bridget will explain how we created the yearbook during a pandemic.
We all came together for the first time last April, and we immediately started bouncing ideas off each other for the theme, book cover, and page ideas. At the time, we were still really unsure of how everything would look our senior year. We had to constantly change our ideas and quickly adapt to the new normal. When we started school in September, 7 of us were in one cohort, while the other 3 of us were in the other. So we never actually all worked together in a class. And also, we were not meeting every day like in past years, so lots of the work was left for us to complete on our own and on our own time. This made things extremely difficult at times. However, this just shows the resilience of our staff and how our hard work paid off as we became the first staff in New England to complete our book. First and foremost, I would like to recognize and say thank you to our amazing advisors, Ms. Tifo and Ms. Gatherall. I genuinely do not know what we would have done without them. They gave us advice on designs, answered any questions, and they were always there to make sure we completed the deadlines on time. I would also like to give a big thanks to our Herff Jones representative, Susan Happel. She introduced us to the software we used to make the book and gave us advice that we could use as we worked on the yearbook as well as in the future as we moved on from high school. I would also like to acknowledge our administration and Woburn Public Media Center for all the resources and opportunities they provided for us. And of course, I would like to thank you guys, the class of 2021, for sending in pictures and cooperating with us if we ever tracked you down for a photo, quote, or memory. And also, thank you for making the past 4 years extremely memorable. In the end, our staff made a commitment to make our book as great as possible. Our book is unique to our class, and there for us to always look back on this very strange year. Thank you to everyone who made this a success. We couldn't have done it without you.
So as you can see, there really was no plan on how to put a book together during a pandemic. And the staff was not paid, so the most rewarding moment of them is to be recognized in front of their class. So it is our pleasure right now to present the staff with their copy of their yearbook, which they have not seen in completion, and I've actually wrapped them so that they would not even open them until you people open yours out in the hallway. All right? We want to make it all equal. Bridget Garden. Teresa James. Sarah Delano. Megan Dever. Heidi Nugent. Catherine Julison. Bella Shaw. Sam Baker. And Eli. Woo. I would like to ask our staff to please stand. And I want to make sure that after the ceremony, that when you see them, please thank them. They have put in thousands of hours on their own time at home. We truly appreciate them, and now we would like to have you guys give them a big round of applause. I'll just continue. We would now like to invite the 2020 yearbook staff to come up, so you people can take a seat. We have a little tradition because Woburn is always full of traditions, and each year the previous staff members come back to present the current yearbook staff with a yearbook pin. So we have with us, I'm going to ask them to stand right in front of this table. We have Hannah, Riley, Sam, Tegan, and Neha. And unfortunately, this staff did not have a chance to be recognized in front of their classmates last year. So I'm going to ask you to do me a huge favor. I want you to stand up and give them a standing ovation. Thank you. We are so very proud of them, and they had the beginning of the pandemic, and they really never got the true recognition that they deserve. So I'm going to ask Mr. Sam to come over and do his speech.
The 2020 yearbook staff would like to present you with a yearbook pin that welcomes you as an official member of the yearbook alumni. It is quite their achievement to create a memory book that is a historical reference for you and your class, and we hope you realize that your hard work does not go unrecognized. Congratulations.
So you guys can hand the pins to them and then stand on them. 2020 staff, you want to stand, you can. 21. Sorry. And Teresa James, when she's finished, she can come over and she will be doing the next speech. Okay, you can go down. Don't leave. You can go down if you want. If you want to go down so you can watch it. Yeah, you can sit down. Oh, we have an extra one. Yeah, thank you. So go down and watch it. All right, Miss Teresa. Yes, you can go down. There you go.
As we go our separate ways, we're excited to see what the future has in store for us. Having experienced some of the most historic times possible together, we have learned how to adapt and to make the best of any situation. We will always appreciate our hangouts with friends before we all became somebody, whether they took place in huge crowds or 6 feet apart in parking lots. Going forward, we bring our experiences and our Tanner pride to chase whatever dreams we hold. As we close this chapter of our high school years, one thing is for certain. Through it all, we lived. Now, through it all, we will rise.
So the next section, I guess Meg and Sarah have a presentation that they just added in probably about 20 minutes ago.
This is very last minute, but we just wanted to take a moment to say throughout this whole presentation, Ms. Tipo has been talking about how, you know, the staff had to work very hard to make this book even through COVID and having 2 different groups, but it really wouldn't have been possible without Ms. Tipo and Ms. Getherall's dedication to the staff. They put probably even more hours into e-design than we did, so we just wanted to say thank you for everything that you've done for us.
Thank you.
So. Oh, I don't have my mask on. But wait, where's Ms. Getherall?
We promise we're almost done. So every year we do a book appreciation or a book dedication, so I'm going to read this to you today. This year we present the book with extreme gratitude to everyone in the Woburn Public School System, employees of the City of Woburn, and members of service and community groups who have worked to care, protect, support during an unprecedented school year as our community and the world face the COVID-19 pandemic. We gain a newfound appreciation for all of those who kept our school and community running throughout this. Their examples have taught us kindness, empathy, passion, and resilience. While we hope to return to normal, we're almost there, may we never forget the grace, the commitment, and determination shown by our school and our community members during the school year. And right now, we're going to get the screen down and present to you the annual lift up, which you're going to love. Lucas, get ready.
Seniors, graduation is Sunday, June 6th at 2 p.m. Please arrive by 12:30 p.m. and meet outside by the football field.
Please welcome our special correspondent for an update on Woburn Tanner Sports.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Lynch from Channel 5 Sports, and this week in Tanner Sports, wait a minute, guys. Isn't this a really special day for Woburn Memorial High School?
Oh, yeah!
You know what? Live from Woburn High, it's the 2021 Lift-Up!
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I lived. Every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I lived.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Lynch from Channel 5 Sports, and this week in Tanner Sports, somebody just dropped that microphone. Is that you again? Yeah.
Please, we gotta kill this switch. You're from the 70s, but I'm a 90s chick. I love it.
Okay, well, this concludes the ceremony. We hope Woburn High has prepared you to find your passion and challenge yourself. You guys will be able to pick up your books out in the lobby if you had paid for it. Could I ask that the yearbook staff stay here for pictures, please? And there's one more thing, so here she is.
Okay, just a couple things. Don't attack each other out there, all right? So you have to pick up your yearbooks if you bought one, but you also need to get your athletic plaques. If you filled out the form to get it, they're out there in alphabetical order by last name. I also would love to see the class officers and Darian Kane and Tara Metters just up here for like 2 minutes before you guys go out there. Congrats, awesome. We'll see you guys tomorrow, if not next week. Be good, take care of each other.